Oh, well, look who came crawling back, desperate for attention. Me. Today, I'm going to talk about, because we talked before about, a while ago, about my realistic STA-90 vintage stereo receiver. Well, today we're going to be talking about my other vintage receiver, the Pioneer SX-780. So sit back or stand there, I don't know, and we'll discuss the Pioneer SX-780 from Pioneer.
He got into vintage audio a year ago, but there's a lot of things he still doesn't know, so he started up a channel on YouTube, and here he is now, the Vintage Newbie. Ba, ba, ba.
That song is just the worst. You're welcome. So today we're going to be discussing or talking about or looking at the Pioneer SX-780 stereophonic receiver from Pioneer. This thing came out in 1978 and was in production until 1980. That's 2 years. They made a lot of these things, like a whole lot, like a real lot. Like you can find them all over the place. If you hop on eBay, there's usually like, I don't know, 100 or so at least. I've seen them pop up in my local Facebook marketplace, which there's not really a whole lot of vintage stuff that does pop up locally. I'm in New Orleans, and I know a lot of stuff got like destroyed in Katrina. A lot of people lost their stereos back then. So that like really cut down the amount of ones that you'll find, but I'll still see them pop up. I even saw one pop up for like $75, and it was with an Audio Technica LP120 turntable, which it's one of those like the Technics SL1200, which is, pretty much the most popular turntable of all time and most imitated. Like a lot of designs that you'll see by a lot of different brands are ripping off the 1200 style, and it's the Audio Technica version of it, but it's a really solid table from what I've heard, and I would have loved to have gotten it, but it's like I know I probably should have gotten that receiver and that turntable at that price. Like, it was crazy not to, but I was like, I just didn't really have anywhere to put those two things. And I was also like, let someone else get it and have like a great day of getting an awesome receiver and a great turntable for less than $100. So yeah, hopefully somebody got a good system start out and didn't just flip it for like couple $100 more, because that would suck. Anyway, yeah, I'll see these pop up locally. They usually average around $600 to $800 to $1,500, depending on the level of work they've had done on them, the cosmetic condition they're in, and so on and so forth. I got mine for between $200 and $300, but it was, kind of in rough shape cosmetically. I had to take the thing apart, clean it inside and out. The wooden case, because it's got this silver front that's gorgeous, that was in pretty good shape. It was missing a knob, but I was able to pick up another knob. The guy actually refunded me like the cost of the knob, because in the picture that he put, I'd gotten this one off of eBay. I didn't get it locally. But the picture that the guy had posted was, it had the knob in it. But when I got it, it wasn't. And he was like, oh, sorry, I can give you a discount, or what do you want to do? Do you want to return it? And I was like, no. I just looked it up on eBay, saw that it was like $30 for another knob, so I sent him that, and he was like, all right, take $30 off. So it was cool. And the inside was kind of dusty. I had to like hit it with a small attachment of the vacuum, some canned air. Got in there with Q-tips and rubbing alcohol. But it sounded really good. The wooden case, it's got like some dings and stuff scraping off of it, like peeling off of it, the veneer. But it's sitting in this case, this cabinet here, so you can't really even see those cosmetic issues. But when you plug it in, crank it up, it sounds great. I really, really like it. It's cool looking. It's got LEDs in it now. It originally had these incandescent bulbs, but those kind of get a little warm sometimes. But I still kept the bulbs just in case I wanted to go back to the original look. It was kind of close to this color, but a little bit more like this amber colored. But yeah, it's very clean looking. And so like I was saying, as far as the price, I just hopped on eBay a second ago to look for it, and they had like over 100 of these on there because they made 1 million of them. They're very popular. A lot of people like them. And the average price that I was seeing was around $300, $350 plus shipping. Some of them had free shipping, but those were around like $400. So yeah, if you got one for like $350 plus like another $100 for shipping, because you do like these things are heavy and you want them like packed fairly well. So get one with secure packing, because you're also paying a couple $100 for these things. You don't want it to get banged up, because that happens a lot. Question the people, see, hey, are you gonna pack it well? How do you pack it? Like, because sometimes folks just wrap it in a towel. But if you can find one locally on your marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, or Craigslist, or even, I don't know, hit garage sales, whatever. We'll do a whole thing on good places to score vintage audio equipment in the future. But for now, let's get into all the buttons and knobs and features and lights on this thing, okay? Yeah. Ooh, doggy. Look at this Pioneer SX-780 receiver right here. Now, before you can do anything with it, you got to turn it on. And that is with the power switch right here. Turn it on, wait for the relay click. And when you hear that noise, you know you're good to go. Oh, see, this is one of the little dings I was talking about, but it's all good. You've got your headphone jack right there. You've got your various speakers. You can listen to your speakers A. You can listen to your speakers B if you have some rear speakers hooked up. You can listen to A and B if you have 8 to 16 ohm speakers. You've got your bass knob. You've got your treble knob. You've got your, what's that, the low filter right there? Yep, you got your low filter to click it on and off for, reducing your record player rumble. You've got your high filter if you're listening to tapes or 8 tracks and they're producing some tape hiss. You've got your selector switch to go to FM. Oh, there goes the stereo knob. When you go to AM, FM, phono for listening to records, or auxiliary if you're, there's phono, there's auxiliary if you want to have like an iPod or an iPhone or a CD player plugged into it, or reel-to-reel if you're like super fancy, but I'm not. And yeah, when you're on the radio and it's locked in, you got stereo lit up there. So there you go. And so you got your source light going to let you know that you got music playing through there. You can listen in stereo or mono. Depends depending on how you want it to sound. You got your tape monitor switches. You have 2 tape monitors on this, 1 and 2. And see, the lights, it cuts out the source, which is, your radio or your CD player or your phone or whatever it is that you have playing through. Once you click on the tape monitor switch, it cuts out that source and it will only play what's on your tape monitor, 1 or 2. You got your balance, so you can listen to the left speaker, listen to the right speaker. You've got your volumizer to add volume to your hair. And look at those meters that go whenever you turn the volume up. I've got the speakers off, but yeah, pretty cool. And then you lower the volume and the meters go down. Then you crank the volume and they go up again. Yep. I've got the radio hooked up, so it's just picking up the signals, but the speakers are off, so you can't hear it. Then you've got your tuning knob for the radio dial. And see, the stereo light clicks in and out when you're not on the station, but whenever it starts to lock in, it lights up. And whenever it's really strong and you're in between the right spot, then you've got your strongest signal. Cool. And then you've got your good old loudness button for kicking in some bass if your volume is on the low setting. It just gives it a little extra punch, a little extra kick. So yeah, that does it for the controls on here. The back of this just has your phono inputs, your aux inputs, your tape monitor in and out, your speaker jacks, and all that fun stuff to hook up stuff to it. But I've done a ton of videos on those. Not a ton, but a handful, a couple. 3, I guess. Yeah, 3. And this one is pretty much, the back is like the STA-90. So if you want to see what the back of this looks like, it's kind of like that, just with different types of speaker connections. It's the kind that you push and you put the wires in instead of wrapping them around in a post. All right, well, let's get back to the other side, shall we? Yes. Hi! Well, I hope you enjoyed learning all about, or a little about, the Pioneer SX-780 from Radio Shack. No, we're not from Radio Shack. From Pioneer. And if there's any questions you have about it, leave something in the comments below. I probably won't be able to answer them because I think I covered all I really know about this receiver. But it sounds good. It's a staple in the hi-fi, mid-fi, silver face stereos of the 70s. The only issue with these that I've heard about are their Darlington STK power packs. Those are kind of known to blow. And by blow, I mean actually go, not just suck, but go, die. If you're cranking the volume up too much for too long. And they are difficult to replace, like the new ones. There's just some I don't know, Chinese replacements that are cheap and half the time don't really work, or only work very briefly before breaking again. But I have seen people recommend, I think there's someone on eBay who kind of builds their own and it looks different from it, but it can plug in the same way. So if you know how to do that kind of stuff or know someone that does, then yeah, go for it. They sound great. They look great. They were popular for a reason, I guess. So get one. I don't know where I was going with that. Hey, if you have $500 just laying around, get one. Or keep an eye out for one. If you're lucky, you might find one for around $200. Or like that one I found for $75 that I didn't get. That also came with the Audio Technica LP120X turntable, which was a great deal. So yeah, sometimes good deals do pop up on this stuff. Alright, well, I'm going to stop for now and wish you all a blessed day.